Hi and welcome. I'm Stan, this is Atoms of Stardust. Today we're taking a tour inside a typical Soviet flat in Belarus where my grandma lives. This is the first video in a series where we will explore post-Soviet cities, talk about their design and functionality, quality, quirks and features, and much more. And we're also going to learn a few Russian words in the process. Okay, so this is a typical 5-story house. We call houses like this panelka, because they're made from panels instead of individual bricks. These buildings are sometimes called after Soviet leaders under whose reign they were built. You might have heard the term Khrushchevka or Brezhnevka, but we don't really use those names in a daily life. Also, I don't know how many people will care about this, but I've spent a stupid amount of time trying to figure out the exact series of this building, because most of the buildings have project series, and from what I have found, most likely, this house is a bit modified series of panel houses called 1-464. On some images on the internet they look a bit differently, but overall layout of flats is the same, so it is most likely some version of 1-464 series. Okay, we're starting outside with its look and the look of the yard. We'll talk about the yard and the equipment and amenities it offers to children in more details in the next videos, as well as we're going to discuss all these cars, parking spots, and overall look of it, all in the future videos. For now, there's just a brief view, and with this out of the way, let's go inside. Also, I'd like to know, English speakers, how exactly do you call one of those entrances in such a building with so many entrances? Just an entrance? In Russian, it's called подъезд, and they are marked with numbers left to right as you would expect. We'll start with a narrow staircase, лестница, without any ramps for a stroller, wheelchair or bicycle. It's a 5-story building, so there is no lift or elevator, so if you are disabled or even an old person living on a 5th floor, especially if you're in a wheelchair, good luck getting outside. That's one of the reasons why you rarely see any people in wheelchairs on the streets of any post-Soviet country or city. In this case, I'm talking about Belarus. They simply can't get out of their houses. The cities are not built for them, but we're going to talk about it more extensively once again in future videos. Just a quick note from editing me. I understand that Russia, Soviets, Belarus, anything related to these countries has a quite bad rap right now, deservedly so. I apologize for the timing. I actually wanted to make this series of videos like 3-4 years ago, but never got courage to do so. But since I still live in this forsaken place called Belarus and everything around me is going to shit, I've decided it's now or never really. So once again, please excuse me for this awful timing, and I hope you still can enjoy the video. And if you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Okay. So, from staircase we enter the flat. Here we can see quite small and narrow vestibule, an entrance room, or прихожая, as it's called in Russian language. It has a door that leads us to a joint bathroom/toilet, ванная, or toilet accordingly. As you can see, it's quite tiny. If I spread my arms, I'm 192 centimeters, I'll be able to touch opposite walls with ease. It's all quite messy because I've decided to show you the raw view of a day-to-day life of a pensioner woman living alone by herself at the age of 84 without any tidying up or glamorizing it. Now let's take a look at the general plan of the flat. We have a kitchen on the right, the main room, and one bedroom further. In post-Soviet countries, this is what's called a 2-room apartment, but as you might understand, there's only one true bedroom, as this big room serves as a main living room as well. I've actually lived in a flat exactly like this one for the first 14 years of my life, and let me tell you, such layout has a giant downside. The living room becomes a walk-through room, проходная комната, meaning to get from bedroom to say toilet in the night, you have to pass through this room and you might wake up people sleeping here. It's actually quite a terrible design, but Soviets didn't really care too much about human comforts. The goal was to create a lot of sort of affordable housing, that's about it. So we've got what you can see here. In another video, I'll try to film other common types of buildings to show you the flats with different layouts, so subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that video. By the way, this whole flat is around 45 square meters, with the living room being around 19 square meters, and bedroom is around 12 square meters. Okay, so kitchen. Nothing fancy, very small, just 6 square meters, barely for one person to be comfortable. Now imagine how a family of even 3 people should eat here. If I remember rightly, in our flat, a table was turned, so it would have some space close to the fridge, so 3 people could sit and eat there, but as you can notice, not a lot of space. Now, main living room. The centerpiece is this Soviet-era relic, cupboard or cabinet, something we'd call servant or stenka, more generic word. Almost everyone who's lived in USSR or ex-USSR countries got something similar to this at one point or another. Interesting quirk, this thing weighs like a small elephant, not your modular lightweight IKEA stuff, so moving it even from one place to another inside one room is a huge undertaking. Also, sound isolation in these flats is abysmal. You'll hear a person coughing 2 stories up, and heaven forbid anyone starts a renovation, drilling, anything like that. And mind you, there are no rules preventing anybody from doing any renovation as long as it's done between 9 and 19 o'clock. And as you can imagine, with so many people living so close together, there's almost always someone doing something. If it's not renovations, it can be loud music or TV, crying babies, quarrels, and so on and so forth. Next, we have a bedroom. Somewhat narrow, quite long, a bed, кровать, 2 wardrobes, шкаф, a table, stall, and a small closet, kladovka, to dump all the things you don't really need. In the flat we lived, that wall was demolished and we've just had a slightly bigger bedroom. Then we're moving back to the main living room and taking an overall look. There's one more thing to check out, and it's a balcony, or balkon. Third floor of a 5th-story building, and a floor, or story in this case, it's called etage. So a 5-story house like this is called пятиэтажный дом, or пятиэтажка for short. And that concludes our tour of a typical Soviet-era building in Belarus. Please let me know in the comment section what else would you want to see, and tell me if you enjoyed this video. I'll tell you a little secret. As a small creator, every view, every comment, every subscriber really counts, and it makes the world to me. Please share it with others, post it on Reddit, share on Twitter, send to your friends and family if you liked it. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit thumbs up. It helps a lot. This is just the first video in a series, and if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.